Published 1744 EDT, the 11th of October 2017. Updated 2131 EDT, the 11th of October 2017. Tampa Bay Buccaneers defensive tackle Gerald McCoy believes there will be an uproar if the NFL institutes a new policy denying players' right to peacefully protest during the national anthem. "I don't think guys are going to like it," McCoy told ESPN Wednesday. "I think it's going to be an uproar if that is to happen, because you're basically taking away a constitutional right to freedom of speech. If guys want to have I guess you would call it a peaceful protest, I don't think it's right to take that away from guys." NFL players have been protesting police brutality against minorities by sitting, kneeling or raising a fist during the national anthem since last season. On Tuesday, facing intense criticism from fans and President Donald Trump, Commissioner Roger Goodell penned a memo to all 32 teams, sharing his belief that everyone should stand for the national anthem. Buccaneers defensive tackle Gerald McCoy predicts uproar if the NFL forbids protests. Goodell went on to write that the league needs to move past the controversy surrounding player protests, adding that the issue will be addressed when the owners meet in New York next week. On Wednesday, Trump claimed victory by praising Goodell for encouraging players to honor our flag and our country during the national anthem. "It is about time that Roger Goodell of the NFL is finally demanding that all players stand for our great national anthem, respect our country," Trump tweeted. The league has since issued a statement emphasizing that the issue is still being discussed and that standing during the anthem is still not mandatory. "Commentary this morning about the commissioner's position on the anthem is not accurate," read the league's statement. "As we said yesterday, there will be a discussion of these issues at the owners' meeting next week. The NFL is doing the hard work of trying to move from protest to progress, working to bring people together," the statement continued. Commissioner Goodell spent yesterday with Miami Dolphins players, law enforcement and community leaders witnessing firsthand the outstanding work our players and clubs are doing to strengthen their communities. Players from around the league will be in New York next week to meet with owners to continue our work together. President Donald Trump praised NFL Commissioner Roger Goodell on Wednesday morning for memo encouraging players to honor our flag and our country during the national anthem. On Twitter, Trump celebrated what he believed to be Goodell changing the NFL policy regarding anthem protests, but a league statement said an official decision has yet to be made. Donald Trump and Roger Goodell are seen attending the NY Jets kickoff luncheon party at Cipriani Wall Street in 2008 in New York, but if the NFL does decide to make it compulsory for players to stand during the national anthem, McCoy sees that as a problem. "I had two teammates who did it, in wide receivers Mike Evans and Deshaun Jackson. That's their right to do that," McCoy said, referring to Buccaneers' two most outspoken protesters. "And if they're gonna do it, they're gonna have support of the whole team. I had two teammates who protested, in Mike Evans and Deshaun Jackson. That's their right to do that. And if they're gonna do it, they're gonna have support of the whole team." Tampa Bay Buccaneers defensive tackle Gerald McCoy to ESPN. "It's a constitutional right that we have," McCoy continued, "and if you take that away, I don't think people are gonna take too kindly to it." The 29-year-old McCoy is among the most respected players in the league and a five-time Pro Bowl selection. Some teams have already taken steps to ensure their players stand for the anthem. After previously kneeling alongside his players in Week 3, Dallas Cowboys owner Jerry Jones recently announced he would bench any player who refused to stand for the national anthem. Jones' comment came in response to a question about Vice President Mike Pence, who left a game in Indianapolis on Sunday after about a dozen San Francisco players knelt during the Star-Spangled Banner. McCoy insists the Tampa Bay Buccaneers will support teammates Mike Evans and Deshaun Jackson if their right to protest during the national anthem is taken from them. Buccaneers wide receivers Deshaun Jackson number 11 and Mike Evans number 13 took a knee before the team's game against the Minnesota Vikings on September 24. "I know this, we cannot, in the NFL in any way give the implication that we tolerate disrespecting the flag," Jones said after a 3,531 loss to the Green Bay Packers on Sunday. "We know that there is a serious debate in this country about those issues, but there is no question in my mind that the National Football League and the Dallas Cowboys are going to stand up for the flag," he continued. Trump was initially critical when Jones and the Cowboys took a knee in Week 3, but the two have since talked, and Jones credited the president with alerting him to the NFL's existing policy on the subject. In an interview with ESPN's Chris Mortensen, Jones said, "You know who reminded me about the game ops policy? Donald Trump." Miami Dolphins were required to stand before Sunday's game, although three remained in the locker room rather than doing so. Philadelphia Eagles safety Malcolm Jenkins told the local NBC affiliate on Monday that he would not stop raising his fist in protest during the national anthem even if team owner Jeffrey Lurie requested him to do so. I would still do it, Jenkins told NBC Sports Philadelphia. I mean, I've been that committed to it because that decision is not mine. I made the decision a year ago that I was going to use my platform in a way to create positive change both on the field and off the field, and having someone tell me I couldn't do that simply because, you know, a president or your bottom line is getting ready to be affected, that wouldn't deter me. To Chief Executives Club Presidents from Commissioner Goodell, date October 10, 2017. Refell meeting national anthem. We live in a country that can feel very divided. Sports, and especially the NFL, brings people together and lets them set aside those divisions, at least for a few hours. The current dispute over the national anthem is threatening to erode the unifying power of our game, and is now dividing us, and our players, from many fans across the country. I'm very proud of our players and owners who have done the hard work over the past year to listen, understand and attempt to address the underlying issues within their communities. At our September committee meetings, we heard directly from several players about why these issues are so important to them and how we can support their work. And last week, we met with the leadership of the NFLPA and more players to advance the dialogue. Like many of our fans, we believe that everyone should stand for the national anthem. It is an important moment in our game. We want to honor our flag and our country, and our fans expect that of us. We also care deeply about our players and respect their opinions and concerns about critical social issues. The controversy over the anthem is a barrier to having honest conversations and making real progress on the underlying issues. We need to move past this controversy, and we want to do that together with our players. Building on many discussions with clubs and players, we have worked to develop a plan that we will review with you at next week's league meeting. This would include such elements as an in-season platform to promote the work of our players on these core issues, and that will help to promote positive change in our country. We want to ensure that any work at the league level is consistent with the work that each club is doing in its own community, and that we dedicate a platform that can enable these initiatives to succeed. Additionally, we will continue the unprecedented dialogue with our players. I expect and look forward to a full and open discussion of these issues when we meet next week in New York. Everyone involved in the game needs to come together on a path forward to continue to be a force for good within our communities, protect the game, and preserve our relationship with fans throughout the country. The NFL is at its best when we ourselves are unified. In that spirit, let's resolve that next week we will meet this challenge in a unified and positive way.